Hi everyone, I'm Mindy Eggen and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be coloring in this beautiful Holiday Blooms stamp set from Honeybee Stamps. I will be using a mix of Copic markers and Olo markers. This card is also a part of an Instagram hop that I'm participating in, and I will link that down below, so be sure to check that out to enter into the giveaways. I'll also be sharing with you my worst stamping fear happened during this video, so stick around to check that out. Here's a look at the Holiday Blooms stamp set. It is a large 6x8 stamp set, gorgeous images, and very versatile sentiments. I believe Kelly Taylor designed this one, and she is an amazing Copic colorist, or colorist? She colors with a lot of markers. So I'm going to start by stamping out these two images onto Express It cardstock. I've been liking that lately for my alcohol markers. Brand new stamp set, so I rubbed my hand over the images to condition it. And then I'm going to stamp this down in the Honeybee Stamps Intense Black ink. So I'm going to have some really nice crisp black lines. Then I'm going to leave my stamp set in there because I may come back and re-stamp it once I'm done coloring. Like I stated earlier, I'm going to use a mix of Copic markers and Olo markers. I'm starting with my Copics. I have a green blend here that I like to use. That is G28, G07, and YG06. So I'm going to be adding in the shadow areas for this. And my shadow areas is usually where something is overlapping another object. So that is how I decide my shadow areas. If I don't have anything overlapping, I tend to either just pick one side depending on where I feel my light source is, or for instance, this stem, I put my darkest color on each side of the stem because I really did not know where to put my shadow area. I will admit, leaves and stems are probably my biggest struggle when it comes to coloring, so I really just kind of wing it. On this particular leaf, I put my darkest area on the top portion of the leaf because I felt like the leaf above it would be casting a shadow. Normally when I'm coloring leaves, I like to put the shadow area on the side that is closest to the ground, if that makes sense. That's normally where I would put shadow. But here, like I said, I was kind of confusing myself, probably just way overthinking the process. And I just made sure really in the end to have dark areas and light areas just to give it some sort of definition. For the flower itself, I'm using a red color combination, and this is out of the Olo markers set. So I have R1.8, R1.7, R1.5, and R0.4. The R1.8 is super dark, and that one I just use very minimal. I didn't want that super dark color to overtake the flower. So I'm adding that really over the artist drawn lines. I love that Kelly included that in her design because that helps me when I'm coloring. I use those artist drawn lines to add my darkest color. Also, again, wherever a petal is overlapping another one or that it's clearly in the back, that I'm also adding a shadow area around that. And then I will blend out with the rest of the colors. A lot of times I am using flicking motions, so I'm kind of lifting up at the end of my tip. And it may look really weird at first when you're coloring because you're pretty up close, I'm going to assume, when you're coloring. But as you let the inks kind of sink into the cardstock, let it smooth out, it will all come together nicely. So while I'm coloring in this flower, I did leave quite a bit of the coloring in for you. I am going to turn on some music, and if you want to skip the coloring, you can head over to about 7-minute mark, and I will see you there.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby.
So I'm finishing up my coloring here. I did my pot in a darker green, and I have my brown dirt in there. And then once I'm done, I brought this over to my Misti, and I'm going to stamp back over on top of it. I sometimes like to do this just to help kind of intensify those lines once again. And here we go. My biggest stamping fear. I stamped this down. I'm going to lift it up, and I about cried because it was not lined up. So I'll try and zoom in there so you can see it, but it was not lined up. I had kind of a halo effect going on. Wanted to cry, but I did not want to waste all of that coloring. So I went ahead, I still die cut it out, and I came in with a fine point Sharpie marker. And when I was coloring it in, there's like a little bit of a gap between the 2 lines that stamped down. So really what it's going to do is it's going to look like a super thick black outline to the flower. I was totally cool with that. I thought, I was able to salvage my flower and all of that coloring. I'm going to go with it. So if it looks like it's super outlined, it's because it is. Now I wanted to bring back in some of the highlights to my flower. So I am using a white colored pencil and just kind of very, very lightly adding back in some of the highlights, especially since my lines were so dark. Now I hadn't die cut out the pot just yet, or the planter, because I really thought that this was garbage. So I die cut that off screen. And what's really cool about that planter is that there's a little slit that cuts into it from the coordinating die. So I can pop my flower right into that pot. How super cute is that? I'm going to do one of my favorite things, which is creating a frame with a rectangles die. So I lined this up over heavyweight cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I picked out a rectangle that's going to give me a really nice thick white border. So I'm going to die cut that out. It'll give me a nice frame to kind of bring your attention to the center of the card for that design. I'm going to be adding this bow to the front of my planter, and this bow comes from the candy cane die set. I love this bow. I have a thing for bows because this one is so loopy. It is so pretty. So I die cut that out of matte gold cardstock. I'm going to take some just heavyweight cardstock to stamp my sentiment. This sentiment also comes off of the Holiday Blooms stamp set. I really like that so many different sentiments are included in there. It's not just holiday. So you can use this stamp set all year round. Just coloring your flower in different colors will change up the vibe of your card. I used the coordinating die to die cut out the sentiment, and I layered it together with a few more pieces out of white cardstock that I cut out just to create some dimension for that. I plan on putting this down over my pot is really where I was planning on putting that. But in the meantime, I need to decide on a background. Now this one is sea glass cardstock from Concord and 9th. I really would have probably used this, but my planter there's so much green. It's very green heavy. On the bottom portion of this design. After the fiasco I ran into before, I was not going to reattempt to do anything. I'm going with the green planter. I'm trying out some light blue cardstock, which honestly, I kind of wish I would have gone with the light blue. I think that helps make everything pop a little bit more. But just showing you some options. I decided to go with a pink background because I really love, for some reason this year, I'm very drawn to light pink with bright red colors, bright red and green, the Christmas colors. So I did decide to go with, I think this is Pink Lemonade. That's going to be my background. I do want to pop up the frame to create a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to just flip my frame over. I'm going to trim down some foam tape, and I'm going to add that all around the edges. I think this probably would have looked really pretty if I would have created a shaker card with maybe some iridescent type of shaker mix. Didn't think of it at the time, but that's also an idea. So I lined the back of that with that foam tape, removing the backing of the foam tape, and then I can place this over my pink cardstock. So I always kind of start in that bottom left-hand corner and then just gently pat my way around so it's not pulling too tight on the cardstock. I'm also going to add some of that same foam tape behind my flower and the pot. You may have noticed earlier that I did glue down my flower to the pot so that way it wasn't popping out on me. So I added that foam tape to the back here, and I'm going to place this right in the center of my frame. I have this beautiful bow that I'm going to put right on the very top of my planter. I was hoping that this bow would help break up how green heavy I was down there on the bottom. So I'm going to place that at the top of the planter. Love, love, love this bow. Crazy about the things we get excited about, right? Now I have that sentiment. I was also hoping by placing this down towards the bottom that it would help kind of break up that green just a little bit. And I already had layered it, so there's a little bit of dimension there. I'm just going to go ahead, add liquid glue to the back of that, and it's going to attach itself to the bow and the planter. The ends aren't secured down, but it's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to finish off my bow using this gold pearl from the metallic pearls set. Everything is going to be linked down below in the video description for your reference on all of the supplies that I used. So for having one of my worst fears happen in video, I'm glad I was able to salvage it, pull it together, and be able to still use this gorgeous set because I did spend a little bit of time on there and I was very happy with my coloring. So glad I was able to salvage that, and I hope this gives you some tips and inspiration if something like that happens to you too. I will also have pictures of my card over on my blog. The link for the Instagram hop will be down below in the video description. Thanks for joining me.